Hey guys, welcome to environmental science. I'm going to be your instructor in this online course, and let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, why are we here? Why are we doing online school? Well, first, education is important. It's not life or death. It's not food, water. If you don't have it, you won't die. But it is important for long-term success and quality of life, which is why we have education in the first place. Secondly, it's going to be for credits. If we didn't have online school, it would be really difficult to get the credits. It could jeopardize. We would have to come back to school, make up the days. So this is how we're continuing the education so we can make sure you get your credits. What you're going to expect from me in this course, you can expect unconditional love with high expectations. Now, just like how what I mean by that, I was gonna say like a parent. I'm not a parent, I'm not your parent. But even if you screw up, I'm still gonna care about you. I might be salty, but I'm still gonna care about you. But I have high expectations because I want you to succeed, um, and I want to make sure that you're getting what you need. So just just know that I care about you. Everything is done because I care about you. If I cared about me, I wouldn't be here right now. Okay. First of all, secondly, if you're fighting, I'm fighting. I know we're in a crisis situation. Um, I know everybody is coming from like really different situations. Some people are not affected by it, some people are. And for me, this has been really heavy on me. I live in very close to school, and when I'm not teaching, I'm out there volunteering, trying to make a difference because that's the only thing you can do, right? Um, when things are out of your control, you try to gain some sense of control by like doing something. And this is my fight. My fight is continuing flexible school for you guys so we can make sure we get the education that we need and the credits that we need. And also on the side, doing everything I can to help our community in this time. So if you ever want to venture outside, I don't recommend it. Don't tell anybody I told you this, but I am going outside, volunteering when I can, when it's considered essential. Okay, so let's go into how this course is gonna work. Going back to our goals for environmental science, we want to understand how the earth works. We want to understand our human impact and be equipped for solving problems. And this has never been as more clear with the COVID crisis going on. The whole spring break, there was nothing more I wanted than to be like breaking this down with you guys because we talked about this. We talked about exponential growth. We talked about logistic growth, how we're trying to like flatten, slow down the curve by removing limiting sources. I mean, I could totally nerd out on this all day while also like try not to panic at the same time. But that's everything we do in this course is going to be aligned to those goals. In terms of lessons, I am not going to give you busy work. I'm going to give you things that I think are rigorous, which are going to challenge you and help you become college and career ready or meaningful, and especially tied to these course goals. But also, hopefully, the lessons will be both. I'm a little bummed because when I made our pacing calendar, I had a lab for every day or every other day until graduation. And I'm just kind of like, well, how do I teach soil formation without showing you the different layers of the soil and you guys having hands-on, or water quality testing? Like, you guys won't be able to test the water. I was like, should I send home lab kits? I don't even really know. So taking out we still have things to learn, but that hands-on component, really student-centered group work component, which is my entire class, it's going to be an adjustment for me. But what that means for you is it does mean less lesson time. So something that usually takes 90 minutes because we have a lot of labs and group work might be condensed more in like a 30-minute lesson and answer. So that's where we are. That's what you can expect. The lessons are more abbreviated and condensed, and meaningful and rigorous. As far as attendance. Attendance is based on you showing up at the course, seat time, kind of similar to credit recovery. So how I'm tracking attendance and how everyone is through electronic response. I have a form that you're going to complete by a certain time. That time will be there. I don't want to say the time exactly because I want to be unsure with everybody else in the school. And the form is going to have your name, and you're going to tell me what you worked on that day, and did you complete the assignment. If you didn't complete the assignment, what else you need to complete it. And you do that for me, I'll show up for you present. Okay. um, okay, so let's go back to that. I'm going to be here showing up for you. I ask that you guys show up for me. I'm going to make it really simple. As long as you do your part, I'll do my part. We're all in this together. In terms of what this course is going to take a lot of, it's going to take a lot of trust. So you guys are young adults. That means you guys are both mature, yet your frontal lobe isn't fully developed, which means sometimes you make irresponsible decisions. That's not everyone. I was a young adult once. I was once 18. And I did both. I was both like rockin'. I did amazing things at school, worked really hard, but I also made dumb mistakes. One dumb mistake was I had a law class. The teacher said that they were going to pass everyone no matter what. So you know what I did? I never went to class. I did poorly on the exams, but I always thought, well, I'm just going to make it up. And the reason I didn't go to class was because I was being a second parent to my sister at the time, basically. And I prioritized that, but I didn't communicate that with the professor. I didn't come up with a plan. I just kind of like stayed silent and tried to keep it in. And guess what? I failed the class. And I was so salty because they said they're going to pass everyone and I failed. And it could have been prevented with some communication. And that failing grade is still on my transcript. And I still have to submit that freaking transcript every time I apply to a master's program, or even a job sometimes requires a transcript. So what I'm saying is, as a young adult, we definitely have competing priorities. And the most important thing to build trust is communication. And secondly is action. One, communication builds trust. If you're not communicating, I don't know what's happening with you, and my mind is going to make up stories and assumptions. So you have to be communicating. If something is going on, or if something's not going on, if you're fine, like either way, like both things, I need that communication. Secondly is action. So if you are showing up and like doing the most that you can and doing what you need to do, and we've already established what I expect from you, then that trust is going to build over time, so that when something does happen, it's not a question. We have that trust. I know that you showed up for me, I showed up for you, and you're always doing what you're supposed to do. For example, when we're in school in the EIF room, if I have a student who consistently comes to class, is always doing their work, and they say, I need to go to the EIF room, it's not a question. Yeah, sure, you can go because I trust you. Now, if it was a student who usually is very absent, they don't communicate, they haven't communicated, and they don't have that action where they haven't shown that they are showing up to class. If they say they need to go to the EIF room, I'm going to be a little hesitant, a little bit. And so that's what I mean by trust. I need you guys to show me communication and action, and that's all I need. Period. Communication and action. And with that, we're gonna get through it. Office hours. I know technically office hours are from 9 a.m. to 12 a.m. and 1 to 4 p.m. Right now, I am 1000% troubleshooting with teachers all the time. So I'm gonna figure out through the survey what you guys need from me. And I am available through Skype, and 100% at any time. I will stop what I'm doing with an adult and help you. So, and that's just has to be, that's just what has to be done. Some of the other teachers though are like super available, and which is awesome. That is not my case, but I don't mind. It just means that I record my lessons, after work hours. Lastly, I want you guys to just take a look at this curve. Change management, because we're going through such a disruption, change is really hard. It's going to get better. First, it's going to suck. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And right now, where we are with Kimball is us as a student community, as a teacher community, we are in the disruption phase. Like status quo, we kept going. Kimball's been doing this thing. You show up to class physically, and then suddenly we have to completely change. And where everybody is figuring things out. Um, there's now that it's setting in, it's the part where like, oh shoot, like this is actually going to be hard. Like online school kind of sucks in a lot of ways. You miss the paper, you miss like the ease of just turning a paper in rather than turning it into Google Classroom. And that frustration is also on the teacher side as well. But everybody is working really hard. I assure you that. Like I've never seen teachers work as hard as I've seen them work in the last couple days / week. Even teachers I didn't expect to be like on board with online learning are like, they are on board. We're all going to it. And in a few weeks after this disruption phase, we'll see how long it takes, maybe 2-3 weeks, we're gonna finally reach the stage 3 where, okay, we're used to the change, and now let's see what we can really do with online learning. Discussions. Actually, maybe this is maybe a better way for learning for a lot of students because you get to go at your own pace. So I just want you to stick with it. Just stick with it and trust us. And I trust you. So thanks. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. And attached to this video is gonna be the link. Thank you guys for sticking through this. This is like, I have to admit, this is like 2 hours of trying to make this work. Whoever said your teacher said YouTube was not a real job, if someone said that to you, they were wrong. This is totally a job. This is really hard, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it. Mm.